High above the thirsty meadow, Cloud Mountain serves a very specific ecological purpose. The clouds that gather at its peak operate as a natural irrigation system for the sprawling valley below. Typically, this process relies on sheer volume. The largest clouds puff themselves up, generate massive electrical charges, and release booming thunderstorms to completely drench the earth. But then there's Pip. Pip is a small, pale blue cloud who simply lacks the physical mass required to produce a torrential downpour. When he attempts to rain, the maximum output he can muster is a soft, quiet drizzle. Because he operates alongside giants capable of shaking the sky, Pip assumes his low output makes him a failure. He figures that a tiny drizzle can't possibly fill a river or sustain a meadow, so he decides he must try to force it. He scrunches up his entire cloud body, holds his breath, and attempts to push past his physical limits to generate a massive thunderclap. But the physics just don't support it. Instead of thunder, the intense internal pressure results in a tiny cloud sneeze, dropping exactly one fat raindrop right onto the beak of a nearby baby owl named Ollie. In an environment where success is strictly measured by the volume and roar of a massive storm, Pip's gentle nature looks like a systemic defect. Down in the thirsty meadow, Mayor Marigold and the local flora are facing a severe threat. The valley is trapped in an intense dry spell. The heat is relentless, and the flowers are rapidly losing moisture. They require immediate hydration to survive the day. But they face a mechanical paradox. The flowers are currently so weak and brittle that if a standard heavy storm were to hit them right now, the sheer kinetic force of the rain would flatten them entirely. The massive storm clouds on the mountain only have one setting: deluge. They lack the precision required to deliver water without causing structural damage to fragile stems. Pip's best friend, a sunbeam named Sunny, spots a way out of this trap. Sunny recognizes that the valley doesn't need a macro-level weather event. It needs a highly specialized, localized delivery system. The survival of the meadow hinges entirely on how carefully the water is applied. Unaware of the crisis unfolding below, Pip retreats to the peak of Cloud Mountain to consult with Nimbus Nan, the oldest and most experienced weather system in the sky. Pip admits his physical limitations. He explains that he doesn't have the capacity to be a big storm cloud and feels entirely useless. Nan points out the flaw in his logic by analyzing the actual physics of a downpour. This chart shows what happens when a massive, high-velocity raindrop strikes a delicate flower stem. The kinetic force crushes the structure, but reduces the mass and velocity, and the droplet rests safely. The water is absorbed, allowing the structure to expand and recover. Pip realizes his low output is actually an evolutionary advantage. His inability to create a destructive storm means he is the exact, specific tool required to water the wilted meadow safely. A quiet, soft drizzle provides the perfect mathematical balance of hydration and surface tension for a fragile ecosystem. Armed with a clear understanding of his ecological purpose, Pip drifts down from the mountain and positions himself directly over the thirsty meadow. He stops trying to force a thunderstorm, doing exactly what he is built to do. He releases a steady, even, low-impact mist across the vegetation. The biological response is immediate. Spared from the crushing weight of a downpour, Mayor Marigold and the rest of the flowers safely absorb the moisture, rehydrate their cells, and stand tall again. Because the rain is so fine, it triggers a secondary atmospheric reaction. Sunny's light interacts with the suspended mist, refracting into a massive, soft rainbow that arches across the valley. Pip resolves the drought without breaking a single petal. By delivering precise, gentle nourishment instead of overwhelming force, he proves that the smallest sprinkle can yield the largest growth.